If you're a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise, you might want to check out the French trilogy of car chase films on Netflix. The final installment, Last Bullet, is now out, and just like the prior two, this puts the pedal down and drives hard. Getaway driver, ex-convict, and expert mechanic Lino, freshly released from prison, is determined to seek justice for his murdered friend. Like I said, this is the final film in the Go Fast series that stars Alban Lenoir as Lino. He's still trying to catch the murderer of the officer who gave him a chance at redemption. And if you've seen the first two films, we all know exactly who the perpetrator is. Now, if you're looking for deep or complex mysteries and clever plots, that's not what this film does too much. The arcs are straightforward, and the motives are clear and simple. And that's just fine, because what makes the three movies so enjoyable are the car chases. The characters are mainly stoic, especially Lino. He's a hardened criminal who is used to not only disappointment, but betrayal and supposed allies who just let him down. He's mainly a loner who doesn't function too well in a team environment, even though he does thrive in exactly that type of scenario. The others we meet are more emotive, but still statuesque when it comes to their personalities. Steffi Selma as Julia is sometimes dynamic, but she mainly displays restrained anger and frustration, which does make sense for the character, but also makes for a somewhat uninteresting subject. Gerard Lanvin as Rez has this threatening aura, but he comes across just as a thug, maybe a well-dressed thug, but no real depth other than greed and the pursuit of power. And I'm not saying the characters aren't somewhat engaging, it's just that I found it difficult to form any lasting emotional attachment outside of Lino, and then more so, Charas, the cop who took the chance on Lino. He had heart and was complex enough to be endearing. I mean, I've rooted for Lino the whole way through the trilogy, not because he's overly dynamic or demonstrative, but because the situations that the writing places him in, along with his background, make for a good redemption arc, and Lenoir pulls that persona off in a convincing way. Now, aside from the drama of Lino's pursuit of justice, or maybe revenge, this is mainly an action flick that features car chases, as I said, gunfights, and then some hand-to-hand clashes. There's a spectacular battle on a tram that features a series of brutal headbutts. Now, I was laughing because of the violent abruptness of this particular fight. A lot of what transpires is unexpected, but creative and shot well too. This altercation is immersive, just thanks to some great camera work. And despite the cramped quarters, the action is captured so that we get to see the blows land versus having the scene just cut up into a ton of different angles that suggest movement but never actually show it. What we get here is painful to watch, but in a really good way. And just like with each of the Lost Bullet films, this one excels at introducing frantic high-speed car chases that take us through winding streets, parkways, and of course, highly populated shopping areas where pedestrians and eating areas are constantly in the way. The series is also known for creating explosive actions when it comes to road rage. In Lost Bullet 2, Lino created this electrically charged forklift-like thing that launched cars way up into the air, twirling them, then crashing down into pieces. Now here, we get more stunts like that, but Lino doesn't have his previous car, so he wows us with a new custom transport. Now the acrobatics may not be the same, but the carnage and exciting pyrotechnics deliver the necessary thrills. I love how this production just chews through vehicles. Destruction at high speeds is the name of the game, and this aims to destroy as much as possible. And even though Lino's vehicle of havoc is drastically different this go-round, the stunt team still creates some innovative ways to blow up or demolish vehicles, some of which are rather large, so the wreckage is even more impressive. Now, if you're a car person, this might hurt you a bit, but there is an awesome French sports car featured at one point, the Alpine A110, where Lino is pursuing an adversary through all sorts of city areas. And while the chase is chaotically intense, the conclusion of that particular pursuit, it is wild and a bit heartbreaking, even though it is awesomely captured. Now, as I said before, the plot for this, it isn't deep or complex. Because of that, everything within the arcs play out pretty much exactly as you'd expect them to. That means there's very little, if any, mystery or surprise. And there's no lack of violence or thrills, but from a storytelling perspective, this is super direct and without any shocking moments. Even when it seems that there might be a double cross or maybe a twist within a relationship, these are obvious and expected. And this lack of complexity does make the scenes that fall between the action less engaging and slower, dropping the pace of the storytelling so that the main emotion we feel is that desire to get back to a chase or fight. This makes the hour and 51 minutes noticeable. I mean, the time it isn't unbearable, but I was less enthralled in some of the background scheming than I think the story wanted me to be. The strife between Lino and Oreski, which stems from the very first film, it's engaging, and it's sometimes tense, but it also becomes drawn out with a lot of quiet brooding from both of them. There are also moments within the plot that the movie focuses too intently on the baddie's nefarious ploys. I mean, if the arcs had been intriguing, or even suspenseful, this could have been an added layer of story tension. As it stands, because the motives are clearly laid out without any meaningful obscuring, there isn't tension, just us waiting for the actions we know are coming to be implemented. And when they do, the scenes continue on, leaving me wonder why so much time was spent on an item that was obvious right from the start. Overall, Last Bullet is a good cap to the trilogy of Go Fast films. This maintains the action and car chase consistency that's been established in the other movies, creating immersive excitement amidst automobile explosiveness. The stunts and pyrotechnics allow for thrilling maneuvers and visuals, and thanks to expertly executed camera work, the footage puts us right into the middle of that action. And despite our protagonist being withdrawn and stoic, Alban Lenoir delivers a steady and believable performance, crafting a flawed but redeemable character. The intrigue within the story is lackluster, and the writing believes it is more complex than it is, but if you're looking for around 2 hours of impressively hectic vehicle destructiveness and physical brutality, this knows exactly what it is, and it delivers what it promises. There's no sex or nudity, ton of profanity, and a bunch of violence. I give Last Bullet 3 out of 5 couches. So do you have a favorite car-themed movie? And there are so many to choose from, right? I lean towards Speed Racer and then Ford v Ferrari, but those are just 2 of the several that I love. I'd love to hear yours, though, in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.